Welcome back. So before we move on to our next segment, we have a few comments from the last topic, which I think is important. Jalil Aziz here says, good morning, ladies. I'm just joining your program. You see, most Nigerians living in diaspora, but talking bad about Nigeria are sheer hypocrites. Many of them still invest in resources back in Nigeria.
Exactly.
I have this one from, sorry.
Go ahead, Chika.
Okay, Ogun's Shegun. He says, my mother died as a result of power failure in a federal general hospital. So tell me what I don't know about the country.
Okay. Banky's corner says, Nyma, Nigeria not happened to you. But Ghania replied him that said, Nigeria doesn't mean anything. That prayer doesn't mean anything because Nigeria isn't a bad omen. And that's how we must see it. When bad things happen to you, it's not Nigeria, it's Nigerians.
Yeah. That happen to you.
Nigerians who do these bad things to you. The country didn't do you.
Nigerians happen to you.
But we carried somebody started that statement and started using it. And it's so wrong. It's completely wrong. Someone else answered that the same things will happen in other countries. But you don't say America happened to you. You say something bad happened. It's just the saying. It's in the wordings and everything that we do here.
Okay, we have to.
Yeah, okay, so there's another one. If our leaders were accountable and people were lazy, maybe the story would be different. You know, somehow our government have contributed to this whole thing. We shouldn't say we're going to put them out of the whole thing.
Absolutely not.
There are opportunities, yes, quite all right, but our government have contributed largely to the way
our people.
Our people.
See, when somebody did a video recently talking about the employers, the business owners of Nigeria, that book, we will not close it if we open it. Who owns those businesses? Who pay people peanuts for work done? Who have no proper welfare for their staff? Who are saying if I pay you what you're worth, you'll be free enough to question something within my government.
But the government have to do their own part. The government needs to do their own part so that all of us will be able to.
Somebody say Nigeria has not happened to me. If I tell you bad things that have happened to me is not Nigeria.
Because our guest is sick. I just want us to touch a few things. This your matter is hot. Maybe he might have a few thoughts on it also. But in celebrating this year's Easter and to re-emphasize the lessons to build a country of our dream, we have with us Pastor Biodun Oladele from the Chapel International Church. Welcome to the show, sir.
My pleasure.
Good morning.
Before we go into Easter matters, do you have any thoughts on this issue we were discussing?
Yes, I have a lot to say.
Oh, great.
I have a lot to say. The issue most times is the mindset of the people in Nigeria. And that's one thing we are really not looking at. We have been conditioned in a way to see Nigeria with a perspective based on your own reality. Everybody talking has their own reality based on how fair, how good things have been to them. And if someone that had the advantages is to speak, he will speak from his own reality. And like I saw something very brilliant, coming up from the two sides. And amazingly, for me, what my own thoughts will be on the fact that we are a victim of the mindset of the people, the mindset we have created as a result of our experiences. And secondly, the leaders we are blaming, they are a product of the same society. They all came from the same society, the same place, and they are doing what they are doing because of how they were formed also. Our formation, our mindset have culminated into what we have become as a people. So when people have the opportunity to come out of this environment in quotes, and they look back, comparing and looking at how it is over there compared to how it is here, then naturally the thing that comes up is people begin to compare, which is a natural thing. But in spite of all this, there is something very, very good about Nigeria. Last week I've been having an African tour during some of our meetings in some nations of Africa. I was in Kenya last week for a week. Amazingly, all the music you hear in Kenya, Nairobi, are all Nigerian. The amazing thing is that people abroad celebrate Nigeria more. Absolutely. I had the privilege to meet with some of the parliamentarians. If you see the way they talk about Nigeria, in spite of our challenges, if you see the way they talk about that, they partner, they copy and emulate what we do over here. But when a Nigerian gets outside, it feels like there is nothing really good about Nigeria. If Nigeria is as bad as we think it is, while the Chinese people, while we are having them flock everywhere in our streets in Nigeria, then there is something good about this land that we are not seeing. That's my perspective.
Interesting.
It makes me wonder, it's all easy for somebody who has the means to get away and coming back and forth to say, oh, I love this country, fantastic. If you live in Nigeria on a daily basis for the last 20, 30 years and for the next 40 years, day in, day out, Nigeria, you have no means to get out. This is where you live and stay. Would you be so... The Chinese come to do business and they can always go back and forth and enjoy the best of both worlds. They have the flexibility. But you live in Nigeria as a Nigerian, day in, day out, for the last 30 years, even to the next 40 years. Would you share the same sentiment to the extent that you share it? That's a question that comes to mind.
Okay, let's move on. Easter. That's a fabulous question because it's all, just like the pastor said, it's all based on the lens you are using and your experiences.
I agree with Pastor. It's the lens. But let me just read this thing. Prakasaka says, yes, the world is corrupt, but don't allow a corrupt world to corrupt you, to disturb your inner pleasantness, to poison you emotionally, to torment your mind, and to make you physically inactive, to dictate your destiny. Be on the watch and maintain an inner calm and clarity. This will make you a living solution to the injustices of the world. It applies to every part of the world that you believe in, that you belong to, that you live in. The same Chinese that are coming here for solution because they have a problem in China as well. There are injustices there. There are some systems that don't work there. In the suburbs, people are looking for solution and coming this way. But we are here. I have never seen a Chinese put up camera and curse the government or the land. They're looking for solution everywhere. There's no part of the world you don't see Chinese. Everywhere, Indians, everywhere. But once we put up camera and ring lights like this.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.